You'll find your names beside your places. Please be seated.
Is this place for you?
Oh, indeed, no, sir. I'm merely a humble butler.
What exactly do you do?
I buttle, sir.
Which means what?
The butler is head of the kitchen and dining room. I keep everything tidy, that's all.
Well, what's all this about, Butler, this dinner party?
Ours not to reason why, ours what to do and die. Die? Merely quoting, sir, from Alfred Lord Tennyson.
I prefer Kipling myself. The female of the species is more deadly than the male. Do you like Kipling, Miss Scarlett?
Sure, I'll eat anything.
Shark's fin soup, madame.
So is this for our host?
No, sir, for the seventh guest, Mr. Boddy.
I thought Mr. Boddy was our host. So who is our host, Mr. Wadsworth?
Well, I'm going to start while it's still hot.
Oh, now, shouldn't we wait for the other guests?
I will keep something warm for him.
What did you have in mind, dear?
Well, someone's got to break the ice, and it might as well be me. I mean, I'm used to being a hostess. It's part of my husband's work, and it's always difficult when a group of new friends meet together for the first time to get acquainted. So I'm perfectly prepared to start the ball rolling. I mean, I have absolutely no idea what we're doing here, or what I'm doing here, or what this place is about, but I am determined to enjoy myself, and I'm very intrigued, and oh my, this soup's delicious, isn't it?
You say you are used to being a hostess as part of your husband's work?
Yes, it's an integral part of your life when you are the wife of a... Oh, but then I forgot we're not supposed to say who we really are, though, heavens to Betsy, I don't know why.
Don't you?
I know who you are.
Aren't you going to tell us?
How do you know who I am?
I work in Washington, too.
Washington, so you're a politician's wife.
Yes, I am.
Well, come on, then. Who's your husband?
So what does your husband do?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, he just lies around on his back all day.
Sounds like hard work to me.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm a little bit accident prone.
Oh, watch it.
Excusez-moi.
This is one of my favorite recipes.
I know, madam.
So, what do you do in Washington, D.C., Mr. Green? Come on, what do you do? I mean, how are we to get acquainted if we don't say anything about ourselves?
Perhaps he doesn't want to get acquainted with you.
Well, I'm sure I don't know, but if I wasn't trying to keep the conversation going, then we would just be sitting here in an embarrassed silence.
Are you afraid of silence, Mrs. Peacock?
Yes, but what? No, why?
Well, it just seems to me that you are. You seem to suffer from what we call pressure of speech.
We? Who's we? Are you a shrink?
I do know a little bit about psychological medicine, yes.
Well, you're a doctor?
I am, but I don't practice.
But practice makes perfect. Huh. I think most men need a little practice, don't you, Mrs. Peacock?
So what do you do, Professor?
I work for UNO, the United Nations Organization. Another politician, Jesus. No, I work for a branch of UNO, WHO, the World Health Organization.
Well, what is your area of special concern?
Family planning. What about you, Colonel? Are you a real colonel?
I am, sir.
You're not going to mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, D.C.?
How did you know that? Have we met before?
I've certainly seen you before, although you may not have seen me.
So, Miss Scarlett, does this mean that you live in Washington, too?
Sure do.
But does anyone here not live in Washington, D.C.?
I don't.
Yes, but you work for the United Nations. It's a government job. And the rest of us all live in a government town. Anyone here not earn their living from the government?